Hey everyone, I'm Jared Hall from Entertainment Weekly. We are coming to you live on Facebook from Comic-Con, and joining me now, we are so excited to have these guys here. It's the gang from AMC's Fear the Walking Dead. So be sure to get in your questions, but welcome all of you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like I should go down the list and make sure everyone knows who we have here. Alicia Debnam-Carey, Coleman Domingo, Lenny James, Danae Garcia, Garrett Dillahunt, Jenna Elfman, Maggie Grace, and their fearless leader, Miss Gail Ann Hurd. Hi, everyone. This is your first public appearance since that mid-season finale, right? And so you're anticipating
at the grocery store. But
well,
yeah.
but as
I haven't left my house.
Well, no, but then that makes me wonder. In the grocery store, are people coming up to you and saying, "Hello, that finale"? Are you getting people approaching you on the street wanting to talk about it?
Angry people, or?
No, sure. Our
fans are super passionate about our show.
Yeah.
First of all, they're super passionate, and so everyone has enormous opinions about it. Whether we've made some missteps or whether these are great things, but it's also polarizing, which is hopefully what makes great television. I think.
Conversation's great, right? No matter, and we should say, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, there are going to be spoilers here, so just get ready, because we do have to mention, of course, what happened. Madison Clark became part of that growing list of zombie victims. Very sad, of course, to see her go. But a lot of people called that such a shocking move. Was it shocking to all of you? How much kind of warning did you have going in?
I mean, we'd known for a little bit. It had happened, obviously, before we started filming. But it was a shock. And I mean, it's something that we have to expect and come to terms with when you're working on a show like this, because that's just the nature of it. But it's always hard losing someone, and especially someone who is so extraordinary, like Kim Dickens. I mean, she's just has been such a fearless leader. So
yeah, it's never easy. I mean, it's you think you're ready, and when the time comes, you're really not ready. Like you just look at each other, you're like, oh, I thought I prepared myself for this.
When the mourning process in the show is just reflecting your own mourning process. Like having to grieve it on screen is kind of just you grieving it.
Yeah, you're really real.
And at the same time, to welcome in new castmates as well. So I think that we've all been able to, but I thought it's been really a real interesting dance that we had to do, as we knew that some of our majors were exiting with some new castmates coming on. There was a lot of love and camaraderie and understanding and being kind to one another. So I think that it was an unusual scenario, right? But I think that we've been.
How big her shoes are to fill. It takes 4 people.
It's exactly.
I mean, those are big shoes, man.
Big shoes, by Kim Dickens, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and some, Gail, maybe you can address this. Risky was a word thrown around with that mid-season finale. Did you guys consider it risky, bold?
Making a show like this is risky to begin with, and great drama requires conflict. A great zombie drama requires some people not to make it through to the other side of the season or to the next year. So yeah, and obviously Kim is incredibly special, and we'll never forget her. And a lot of the things that people will be doing for seasons to come will be in memory of what she stood for.
And I also think it's really important with a show like ours and an apocalypse show like ours that the fans don't get too comfortable in their viewing experience, that they are reminded that this show is going to sometimes go the direction that they expect it to go and sometimes really not. And that's part of the journey.
On the flip side of that, how comfortable do all of you get to be in? Is there a comfort in job security, or do you know at any moment? Yeah.
Have you watched this show?
No, I know. But you don't
be
sign on knowing, we have an end plan, an end game set for you, or
No, you're in and you're in.
Only drawn to low job security.
But at the same time, it must be kind of exciting, because then you don't know what's going to happen. You don't have to wait for it, anticipate it. You're just along for the ride too.
You're really surviving the apocalypse. Like, okay, I'm here today. I'm going to do my best to survive this one. And you
can't sign a lease when you're buying eggs. You're like, maybe I'll get the half dozen.
The half dozen, right. Exactly. Lots of things to consider.
Maybe I'll go for it.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe I won't buy the quart.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just get, the small milk.
Right. It's a good point. being smart about that. We do have a Facebook question here from Katrina Jacob, and it kind of plays into something I was going to ask you, because your character more than anyone is probably going to feel the effects of that loss. And Katrina wants to know what training did you do to prep for this back half of the season? Does that mean you had to step up even more than normal?
Yes, but there's what I think was maybe more interestingly is seeing how Alicia's emotional journey transpires, because she's the only one left of her family. Yeah. And so more than anything, it was about her finally kind of being on her own and having to deal with that. And if we've seen her in a dark place, it just gets worse. And so it was more kind of prepping for that and how to start building a character from the ground up on her own for the first time. So more than usually, you know, we all kind of do the action sequences and the fighting and stuff, and that's really fun. But this was a harder challenge in, you know, an emotional journey, I guess.
Yeah. About to wrap here, but Garrett, I have to ask you, a lot of people know you really